Welcome back to Prime Time. We're doing special coverage here, and what a night we have seen. Just minutes ago, we heard from the president again. He said things are going, quote, better than anybody could have expected.
TV is still on color bars. It doesn't come on the air until 3 o'clock in the afternoon, a little more than 2 hours from right now. So we don't know if at 3 p.m. Ri Chun-hee, the senior newsreader who we always see when there's big news in North Korea.
So what do we have here, people? We're so caught up in the Trump and the North Korean monarch that we losing sight of what's really happening. See, people, the strategy is to turn your attention to things like this, and you will lose sight to things like this.
The tents are already up at this border crossing outside El Paso along the Texas-Mexico border. Soon, this is where hundreds of migrant children will be housed. Tent cities like this popping up because of a Trump administration zero-tolerance policy separating children from their parents who cross the border illegally. So many kids are now in custody, authorities are running out of room for them.
Welcome to Testing the Waters, Chronicles. I'd like to welcome you to the Pastor's Chronicles. If you follow my Chronicles on Fear the Walking Dead, I did a series, a smaller series, hopefully I get back to it, on the government closing out Walmarts to make it a concentration camp. Also, you heard that they're closing down Kroger's all over the country. What is that for? But people laugh to scorn this Chronicles that I did about Walmart, cursing and all this stuff. But people, they putting it into perspective now. They are really using these buildings to house people in. Not to mention, recently, while you're looking at Trump and North Korea and all this stuff like this, they are actually testing the waters. Just like Katrina. In the time of Katrina, they were testing the waters. They was going throughout New Orleans, confiscating guns.
No one will be able to be armed. We will take all weapons.
It was a human drama with emotions and tensions running high. Patty Connie is still trying to recover physically and emotionally.
They really did a number on me.
From the day police forced her from her home.
It was traumatic. All of a sudden, they were banging on the front door, the side door, and the back door. And they said, let us in.
Patty tried to explain. She was on dry land, she had plenty of food and water, and didn't want to abandon her dogs. But it didn't matter.
If you see 6 or 8 police that look like linebackers pushing you in a corner, you're in shock. I'm saying, look at all my food. I got plenty of food. They kept pushing me back, and ended up like this.
Then, Patty showed them a small revolver she was carefully holding in the palm of her hand. A camera crew was there to capture what unfolded next.
I said, it's not even loaded. And I dropped it on the floor.
You got a gun?
Well, they punched me in the face. Look at my black and blue marks. Look at what they did to me. They dragged me out of here. I really thought they were going to kill me. I really did.
We were coming back across the lake is when we got stopped by Coast Guard and St. Tammany Sheriff's Department and the National Guard by gunpoint.
We had identification. We were coming back from a house that we were taking the weapons out of, so criminals wouldn't break in and steal them. And we've had policemen tell us that that's what they wanted us to do, but not the sheriff in St. Tammany. They just wanted to confiscate them from us.
We felt like criminals at the time when they come up to us with M16s or AR-15s, whatever it was, but there were 4 of them with rifles and holding on us with our hands in the air until they got in our boat.
So they got on the boat and they asked us, do you have any loaded weapons? Yes, we do. They're in the 2 back compartments. Wayne went to show him where the gun was, and he screams, don't touch it, don't even move, I'll get it.
I thought it felt like it was un-American and then we had been violated when they took like I say, we were shell-shocked. We were just sitting around looking at each other and said, we just got our guns taken away from them.
They took them. And they didn't have a right to take them. They didn't have a reason to take them. That was the thing. We did nothing wrong. But they took them anyway. He said, be thankful we're taking your guns here. Why should I be thankful? Well, if they catch you with them on land, they're going to take you straight to jail.
We live in proof that all they have to do is say, look, this is the law.
You had that feeling that you were violated. They took something from you. They stole something from you. That's the only way to put it. They took something that they didn't have a right to take.
What'd you come and get my gun for? I'm a good citizen.
Marie Galatis, a Baptist minister, faced the same story in her neighborhood. The same threats by thugs, the same lack of police. But she never once felt afraid.
And I had my Bible, and I had my gun, and I knew I was safe. And I tell you what, I'm an Annie Oakley if you come fool with me or my family. I'm gonna let you have it, buddy.
Marie knows she was lucky. She was never forced to leave home and didn't have her firearm confiscated.
It's going against my constitutional rights as a citizen.
But Marie remembers how upset she got when the police department threatened to take her firearm.
You're letting the thugs get away with everything, and you're coming to honest, good citizens and taking away their protection, and it is wrong, wrong, wrong.
What I feel is that we're losing control of who we are as a nation.
Robert Zoss was forced to evacuate when a tree destroyed both of his family's homes.
Loaded with dogs, kids, people.
Then, as they were exiting through downtown, the unexpected happened.
These cops came out of nowhere, said stop, and asked, do we have weapons in the car? And I told him, yeah, I do. He said, get out the vehicle, had us all sit cross-legged in front while they searched the vehicle. I had a .22 long rifle. My tenant's girlfriend had a .22 pearl handle revolver given to her by her grandmother or grandfather.
But Robert couldn't believe what he watched police do next to his rifle and his friend's pearl handle revolver.
I saw them smash her gun given to her by grandmother, grandfather, just against the curb. The other things that they busted up, the .22 rifle they busted up, these were police officers that went too far. We didn't have any rights. I mean, they treated us like criminals. They treated us like if we were in a third world country. I was scared because these guys weren't doing it by the book. There was mayhem. New Orleans police did not have control of the city anymore. So the only plan they thought, I guess, was to take the guns away from the people. Heed the warning of what this was. You know, this is like Australia. All of a sudden, boom, they got our rights.
Will fire on U.S. citizens. This comes from a very credited source. This man made a Facebook post yesterday, Dr. Jim Garrow. He had been informed by a senior military leader that Obama has a new litmus test, and that litmus test is, will you fire on U.S. citizens or not? I have many buddies in the reserves, navies, marines. Many of them have told me the same thing. Matter of fact, quite a few of them have told me it was one of the very first questions they were even asked, if they would fire on U.S. citizens if they had to, which is disturbing in its own right.
DHS supplier provides shooting targets of American gun owners. Paul Joseph Watson has this shocking story about how Law Enforcement Targets Incorporated is producing cardboard cutouts of, quote, non-traditional threats. Of course, this is on the heels of the federal government purchasing in excess of 2 billion bullets for non-law enforcement, non-lethal agencies. What the hell is going on? They're producing targets that say do not hesitate, of children, of pregnant women, of elderly men, in summary, of society's most vulnerable and typically most innocent citizens. You just cannot believe these cutouts, but they produce them, and you've really got to ask why on the heels of Homeland Security and other agencies.
They were testing the waters, people. So what they're doing is, in a time of disaster, which they create, they bring order out of the chaos. And people that resist will be tossed in these concentration camps and murdered, or put under some form of mind control. Check out this recent event that's taking place. And you want to laugh the things that I say? Laugh at it? It's just, the Bible said in the last days it would be like the time of Noah. They laughed at Noah. Noah had a message. And because those people wasn't familiar with that type of message, they despised it and laughed at the man, just like they're laughing at this message today. But the more they laugh and the more these events takes place, when it's said and done, the people that are laughing will be in one of these concentration camps. Check this out.
Morning, the tents are already up at this border crossing outside El Paso along the Texas-Mexico border. Soon, this is where hundreds of migrant children will be housed. Tent cities like this popping up because of a Trump administration zero-tolerance policy, separating children from their parents who cross the border illegally. So many kids are now in custody, authorities are running out of room for them. The Attorney General using the Bible to justify it.
I would cite the Apostle Paul and his clear and wise command in Romans 13 to obey the laws of the government.
So under the New World Order, under the One World Religion, they will use the Antichrist religion and use the Bible and falsify the scriptures and interpret the scriptures to bend towards punishing people who will not obey the law of the land. Just like this politician did. Use the Bible to say we must separate children from their parents and slap them in Walmart facilities, which is testing the waters to be concentration camps. You don't even know what's going on in those facilities. So they testing the waters and using the Bible to say it's okay to punish people if they break the law of the land. Watch this.
The crackdown leading to scenes like this. A former Walmart in Brownsville, Texas, now holding nearly 1,500 boys as young as 10 years old.
Where they holding them at? What did I say? Walmart. Well, people laughed at what I said. Let's take it back to my Chronicles about how they will use the Walmart facilities to house people, to punish them. What's going on in America, people? We are headed towards disaster. We are headed towards the fulfilling of the scriptures, where if you don't receive the mark of authority, the mark of the authority of the beast, which is a nation, ecclesiastical power that control the U.S., if you don't receive their mark and agree and go with their agenda or their new world order, you will be slapped right here in these closed Walmarts that is now being created for concentration camps. People, the military is preparing themselves while they got you running after the new hype or the new thing or the new fashions, caught up in basketball and stuff, football and sports, and who's doing this and doing that on reality shows and on social media. They preparing you, but you're not preparing yourselves. There are concentration camps everywhere, people, and you don't know nothing about it. Underground bunkers and underground worlds ready for those who will oppose and fight against the New World Order agenda. The Bible said the United States of America will speak as a dragon, and the dragon is Satan, who forced people to bow down before him. In this Chronicles, we will look at Fear the Walking Dead, and we will see people a message. We will see a message concerning FEMA camps, concentration camps. People, they are preparing themselves for this. Coffins headed to Chicago. For what? The Ebola? No. They are preparing themselves for the New World Order. And you are just a zombie apocalypse. Not knowing nothing. Not educated. Dumbed down. Numb minds. Just walking zombies who know nothing and will be brought to the slaughter. Well, so there you have it, people. I did that Chronicles 8 months ago, and I put it out, and a lot of people, rejected it. A lot of people called the Chronicles insane, delusional individual. But the Trump administration is proving that the things that I put out, projected, is correct. Because they are testing the waters. What are they testing? They trying to see how America would respond to taking away illegal immigrants' children away from them. So basically they saying they already conditioned the United States of America through social media and blah, 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 and politicians and political situations, etc. So they're going to then have the world look at those who oppose the law. And they're going to use the Bible with this too. Those that oppose the law is illegal, and it is right to take their children from them. Slap their children also in other type of facilities so they can facilitate or reconstruct their minds to become citizens of the New World Order. While their parents may be put to death or receive the same solution and reconstructing their brain under some form of mind control to accept the New World Order agenda. So what they're doing is they're testing the waters to see how the United States of America will respond to these illegal immigrants crossing the border, and these illegal immigrants are probably working for the government, or allowed to come over and at the borderline and then snatch the children up. It is always a lie and a twist towards what is right. And they do whatever, they spend billions of dollars to keep this thing hidden. What are you going to do about this, people? You're going to sit and do nothing and keep your mouth shut until this thing actually happens. And it will happen, because the Bible said it in the book of Revelation 13 that the lamb-like horned beast gave power to the first beast, and whosoever don't receive the mark of the beast will be put to death. And people are going to be put to death in concentration camps. Or, as we've seen in the beginning of this video, be shot on sight. Doesn't matter who you are, pregnant woman, old, elderly person, whatever, you will be shot. You will be shot on sight. What are you going to do about this, people? You need to be preparing yourself for this battle that's about to take place on this earth. And the Bible said it's going to be a sorrow, a tribulation like never before. Let's finish the rest of this video.
Where does it say in the Bible that it's moral to take children away from their mothers?
I can say that it is very biblical to enforce the law.
The exchanges turning contentious.
I know it's hard for you to understand, even short sentences, I guess, but and please don't take my words out of context.
Come on, Sarah, you're a parent. Don't you have any empathy for what these people are going through? They have less than you do. Seriously.
I'm trying to be serious, but I'm not going to have you yell out of turn.
But even the president's allies joining in the opposition.
We don't want kids to be separated from their parents.
And the argument from the White House is that the law requires this zero tolerance, and that is why they are separating these families. But Robin, make no mistake about this. This is their policy. Past administrations have chosen to interpret the law differently.
And the House will be voting on this very issue next week?
Yeah, they will. Though we heard Republicans like Speaker Ryan there go public with their opposition. It's unclear, though, whether they've actually got the votes to pass this.
Whether you believe this Chronicle or not, you will see the truth. The truth will set many people free. But those that will be bound to a lie will be captive mentally, physically, eventually. But you're just going to look at this Chronicles and clap your hands or curse and scream and shout. But you will hold your peace. Why? Because you feel like it don't concern you. It's not happening to you, and it doesn't concern you. But little that you know, it does concern you. And everything that's happening points towards you and your freedom. This is the Pastor's Chronicles. As always, this is not a theory. It's an actual conspiracy.